Guys basically evaluate a few different things here. Team's quarterback situation, the remaining non-quarterback roster makeup, the front office, and the coaching staff. Basically using a scale where, anything at 100 is an A+, 90 is great, 80 is basically a B, very good. So that's the objective. 1 through 32, Bears checking in at number 20 with an overall score of 78.2.
Where's their deficiencies at, Carm?
I don't think you know enough about the quarterback yet, right? Like, it's hard to evaluate when you have a rookie quarterback.
It's probably one of those things that they're not rated very highly yet.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where they're at. He's a little bit of an enigma.
So, reason for hope, they write, Chicago finished last season strong, with the defense finding another gear following the Montez Sweat acquisition. Plus, the Bears have built a solid core of offensive skill players around number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams, whom they believe has a chance to be a star right out of the gate. If he lives up to his billing, the Bears could get really good really fast. Yeah, I think that's obvious. That's what we're all hoping for. That's true.
Yeah, thank you.
Reason for concern. Hard to argue with anything Ryan Poles did this offseason to try to improve on the field. So the spotlight now is on the coaching staff, specifically offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. His ability to form a relationship, teach, support, encourage, and maximize Williams' talents will be scrutinized. Nothing is more important regarding the success of this franchise going forward. Yeah, agreed. Louis Riddick penned that part of the story. That's yes, and yes. And I wasn't with you on Friday. I was with Hoodie in the morning, and I think it was Hoodie and I that were talking about it on Friday. Maybe it was me and you last week one day. I don't remember. But this isn't so much about, like, somebody was wondering about Eberflus's job security and how he helps develop Caleb Williams. He's not developing Caleb Williams. That's the job of Gary Joseph and Shane Waldron.
Yes.
Matt Eberflus is a defensive guy. This is not Andy Reid mentoring and tutoring and teaching a young quarterback. It's not Matt LaFleur doing it. It's not Kyle Shanahan doing it. This is the job of Shane Waldron and his quarterbacks coach.
Yeah.
Those guys have to do it.
Right. Until you do it, you haven't done it. I mean, Eberflus hasn't won as an NFL head coach. So until you do it, you haven't done it.
I do think Waldron is capable of developing a quarterback because we've seen him work with other quarterbacks, and we've seen him sort of like save the career of one in Seattle. I don't know all that went into that, or how much we should be doling out credit. I mean, it seems to me that he deserves a fair amount of it because Geno Smith, quite frankly, played the best football of his life in his career under Shane Waldron. That offense got better under Shane Waldron. They've been a pretty good offense the last couple of years. And he's coming from a system that I think, you should be looking for coaches off of that McVay-Shanahan tree at this point. So I've got a relatively high degree of faith in Shane Waldron. He has done this job before. He's still relatively young, but he's done this job before. He's called plays, and he called plays on a good offense. I'm not overly concerned about it. Are you?
No. You expect the offense coordinator to be able to teach the quarterback his system. They're teachers. That's what coaches are. They're teachers. So hopefully Caleb Williams picks it up as they move forward. That's what you're hoping for. My thing is there's a lot of people want to criticize Eberflus. And that's fine. 3-13 the first year when Ryan Poles gutted the team.
Yes.
And you weren't winning games. You're 3-13. You wanted to lose. You got exactly what you wanted. You turned that into something else this year. Last year, they go about the business trying to figure out how to win. By the end of it, they were. He had the players playing for him. Andy Reid's been fired.
Yes.
Right? Andy Reid's won some Super Bowls, right? He's been fired. Tom Coughlin was fired.
Yes.
Went to two AFC championship games. You know what they did? They still fired him.
Bill Belichick just sort of got fired, didn't he?
He got fired.
Just kind of got.
Right.
I mean, like, maybe not technically, but it.
Right, but guys end up,
feels like he got fired.
You end up getting fired. There's guys that are head coaches now that have been fired.
Yes.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Okay? So, if you don't win, you end up getting fired. Pete Carroll got fired, not because he was old. Pete Carroll, they just middled. They figured they had to go another direction.
Yeah.
That's the way this thing works.
Pete Carroll's been fired a few times.
Yeah.
Rick.
So, fine. Whatever. If Eberflus doesn't win, he's going to be fired. So guess what his motivation is? His motivation is to win, as is Waldron. Otherwise, these guys are going to be where? They're not going to get their pensions for coaching in the NFL. You've got to be here an average of 15 years, and your age, 15 years of experience and your age. When you add them up, it's got to equal 70 or 75, and then you can collect a pension. These guys have to win to be able to stick around.
Waldron's motivation is to get a head coaching job, right?
Well, it's to do a good enough job to be asked back next year.
Well,
And then eventually to get himself a head
be
coaching
a head coach,
job. Yeah.
right? I mean, he's on that trajectory. He's 44 years old. He's been an OC in this league. He's worked with some impressive coaches. He's worked for Belichick. He's worked for McVay. He's worked with Shanahan. Like, is that good or bad? I couldn't tell.
Bad.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, he's on a future head coach trajectory, especially because a lot of teams are looking for offensive coaches. The one little nugget that they write about here, this is from Shots. He writes, cornerback Jalen Johnson was outstanding in 2023, making second-team All-Pro and leading the league with a minus 51.6 coverage DVOA. How about that? He had the best in that specific metric. Opposing quarterbacks avoided him, and he provided great coverage when they did throw at him. A new extension signed this summer ties Johnson to the Bears through the 2027 season. It was one of the best parts of last year was the emergence of Jalen Johnson.
Sure.
Like looking like a somewhat elite quarterback.
And
cornerback, excuse me.
The fact that you got DJ Moore here and DJ Moore answered the bell.
Yeah.
Even with a quarterback that couldn't always get him the football, DJ Moore still answered the bell.
Yes, he did.
That's why you're hoping with Caleb Williams it's even better. And now with the combination of receivers you have, that it's even better. That's what you're hoping for. Everything is even better this year.
Yeah, like rank the best parts of last year. Jalen Johnson is, I think, like easily, right, is the best part of last year. Like his development to this point to being someone that you can really trust and you feel like is an elite cover corner.
I'd say DJ Moore, your defense finally figuring it out and stepping it up after the acquisition of Montez Sweat.
Yep. DJ Moore, I think, is a good call, too. Like getting
And
DJ Moore,
DJ Moore,
proving that he's a stud.
Right.
And then I'd say Tyreek Stevenson. Playing the way he did as a rookie.
I'd say the overall development of the defensive backfield.
Okay.
Including Brisker and including Gordon.
All right. That's fair.
I think if you look at the strength of this team defensively, unfortunately, it's with the defensive backs. On the offensive side of the ball, it's your wide receivers.
Yeah.
So you're building the team from the outside up, which is one of the craziest ways to try to build it, but that's what they've done.
But they're doing it that way, and maybe it's working. So there's a hold-in happening in Green Bay, and the GM, what do we call him? Just Goody?
Gutekunst.
That's too hard otherwise.
Gutekunst.
That's too much. It sounds
His Pat
dirty
used
every
to
time.
coach in Minnesota way
every time
back
you say
when.
it. The Packers and Jordan Love may be nearing an agreement on a contract extension, but until it's done, and this first broke over the weekend, the starting quarterback won't participate in practice or any games this preseason. If it's almost done, it probably won't stretch to the start of preseason games. We still got a little ways. I mean, yeah, the Bears play a week from Thursday, but they're playing in the extra game, in the Hall of Fame game. I don't know if it's that close, and it was being reported over the weekend that it was about to happen. That it shouldn't stretch to the start of games, but there's the hold-in happening. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst said Monday, shortly before the team's first practice at training camp, that Love's representatives informed him Saturday night of their plans before a deal gets done. We completely understand where he's coming from, the GM said. Love did report for training camp on time. He took part in meetings and other training camp activities except for practice. Previously, Love took part in the entire offseason program and the team's mandatory minicamp in June to fulfill requirements for a $500,000 workout bonus. I would also participate in full for a nice $500,000 workout.
Yeah, and
I would love someone to give me a $500,000 workout bonus.
Any distractions the Green Bay Packers have before they go to the regular season, it can only be good for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I don't even think they'll get close to getting there, though. Good for Jordan Love. What's it going to look like, $50 million a year?
Is that what you believe?
I mean, isn't that kind of like the going rate? Courtney was on earlier today with Cap and Hoodie talking about it. They were spitballing. Like, yeah, it sort of has to be right around there, doesn't it? I mean, I know he hasn't proved as much as some of the other guys, but they believe in him. They obviously believed in him the whole time. They cleared the way for him to get an opportunity to play. His back half of the season was fantastic. His first half was not good. We've talked about that. Were we fooled in November and December in the playoff game in January? I don't think so. I think he's pretty good. I hate to say it.
Yeah, you've got to do it on the field. He did it on the field, Carm.
Yeah, it sure
That's where
looked
he
like
did
it.
Yeah.
You know, you go 21-3 touchdown to interceptions over a 10-game stretch. I don't know, and a 1-0. What did I told you I was breaking it down last week with you. Yeah, like a 113 quarterback rating.
Yeah.
And your team goes 7-3, and you go on the road and you drill.
Well, either way, say he gets his $50 million.
I think he's going to get $50 million.
Fine, he gets it. I hope he doesn't get it until September.
Wouldn't that be great?
I hope he doesn't get it till September.
That would be great.
I mean, if you're a Bears fan,
I don't think that's going to happen, but all right.
you're hoping he doesn't get it till September.
I'm cheering for it with
Let
you.
him go. Let him be stubborn. Let him do that. Let the Green Bay Packers organization be pig-headed too.
That would be
Let
great.
both of them sit there and draw lines in the sand and just watch the whole thing go on and on forever and ever.
That would be fantastic, Yerk. I don't know that it's going to happen, but it would be great. 312-332-3776. If you want to ring us up, talk about anything from the weekend. What a beautiful Monday we got. It's Carmen and Jurko. We'll be right back.